You hear the squawking, that's my parrot. They obviously want to get in on the interview.
Get interviewed as well.
Exactly.
They can sit on my shoulder.
They're publicity hall like the two of us.
Like the best of us.
Exactly, like the best of us. Anyway, I am extremely honoured today in our Legends interview to have a true legendary pop icon. This gentleman here, we go back similar track. We both come from UK. Has a funny accent, exactly. and now, but we're residing here in America. So we have come similar path, but I have definitely not come the superstar path that this gentleman has. He's actually a child prodigy with the Worlds Apart,
Worlds
right?
Apart
Group,
and Simon Cowell, yeah.
Exactly. So anyway, so let's conduct this interview. So actually, on that note, tell me, how did it all happen with obviously the famous Simon Cowell picking you out for the boy band, and how did that all happen?
Well, first I just want to say thank you for having me on, and good to see you again, and say hi to everyone. My name's Aaron Paul. I was discovered by Simon Cowell at the age of 18. I'd always really doing the London circuit of music. I've been doing it since I was 12 years old. I was booking my own band at like 13 and doing all the clubs, the nightclubs, and just, kind of had this, always went to performing arts school and always wanted to be doing what I did. And then at age 18, I got contacted by Arista Records, which Simon Cowell was the A&R department of the pop division at that time. And they were piecing together a boy band. And there was already a very successful boy band which RCA Records had, which was under the BMG umbrella with Arista. They were across the street from the label, so they had started the kind of their band, which was Take That, and they were huge. So therefore, the next record company wants to do the copycat band and rival band. So that's where Simon put together us, and he auditioned 10,000 guys all over the country. Whether they were dancers or singers or had a look or whatever, or the acrobats or martial arts even. And out of that, they picked 5 boys, and it got to they'd picked an original 5 lineup, and they realised that the guys that they picked weren't really strong enough as singers, so they needed to get a lead singer. I was doing the clubs, like I said, and a friend of mine who owned some of the clubs, he got referred to for the project. They're looking for a guy who could sing and dance and had a look. And he said, bingo, I've got the man for you, Aaron, and he's young, and, and he can sing live and that. And he referred me to them, and I met with Simon privately and the manager of the group, and they really liked me. Then they put me through a series of like tests where I had to kind of audition, record the song in the studio, did dance routines. And I come from a performing arts background, so it was, flawless for me in that sense. And then I got the job, and they positioned me as the lead singer. Yeah.
So in a way, it's like the reverse, because obviously the Monkees were formed here in the US as a competition to the Beatles.
Right. Absolutely. And that formula has always been done for all throughout music, with the Supremes and Motown. Put people together and stuff and groomed them, and we went through our grooming process and. I ended up having 5 top 10 records with them.
Now, did you compose your own songs?
Yeah, and do you know what? I always wrote my songs from a very young kid and done music, so that was what I did. I did have my reservations at the time whether I wanted to be in a group, especially with strangers, because I was already doing it by myself, and I really had a vision and where I wanted to go. And it was a take it or leave it opportunity, to be signed to a major record company, Arista Records, with Clive Davis, Simon Cowell, and Whitney Houston was big at the time, and that helped paid for our project. So it was like, do I take this deal or not? And it was an opportunity for a lifetime. And then we were like put together. I didn't know the guys, so they were complete strangers. But next thing you know, we're rehearsing together and put out onto the road to promote the singles. And because one afternoon I went to the studio with one of the producers and we wrote a song. It was the second single actually, and I didn't expect anything to come of it. I thought it was we did it in an afternoon, and this was the Sunday. And I remember the Monday morning Simon called me and said, "Oh my God, you can write! Wow, we didn't know."
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you're right. And this song is brilliant, and we want it to be the next single. Can you get to the record company, to the offices, and as soon as you can? And I got there, and it was a big board meeting. And they were like, well, this is brilliant. This is your second single, because the first single got to like number 28, so they were looking for another song to back up that. And I had written this song, and it was Wonderful World, the song was called, which was a bouncy pop song, and to my surprise, they wanted to go with that for the next single. And next thing, I'm in meetings with publishers, and as you know, that's where a lot of the finance is, publishing. So for that to happen for me at age 19 and be our second single, a song that I wrote, and the record company was supporting it, it was wonderful.
But how was your interaction with the other board members? Do you have any jealousy amongst them?
Well, we, like I said, we were strangers. We weren't friends beforehand, and I came into the group. I was a job. I was given the job as the lead singer, and that was my role. And I think other members had their roles. They carved out their roles throughout the journey. So I kind of always knew that I'm here to do my job. Yes, I mean, and all kind of close proximity we've got, especially in this kind of environment, there's going to cause jealousy. Everybody wants to be the star.
The ego issue.
And the ego comes in. Everyone's got an opinion, and everyone's right. And then this one's getting more attention than I am. This one's writing the song, So everyone's going to feel a bit left out along the line, and that does cause some frictions. And when you're in a close proximity like that, and you're travelling, and you've got to get out of the car and put on a smile, it's very hard. It's not an easy job.
But do you still stay in touch with
I do. I stay, with Patrick. He's one of the original members, and he's a major, actually, martial arts guy, and he from a martial arts background, and he's very spiritual, very earth-grounded, and and me and him are like brothers.
Is there any likelihood that the band's going to reform? Or
do you know what? There's talk of it. Do you know what?
Yeah.
You'd have to pay me a lot of money. Because, I'm so used to now doing it by myself. Oh, okay. It wasn't the best environment. It was a great experience, don't get me wrong, and exposed me and exposed all of us. Yeah. And it's a memory and experience that you wouldn't trade in for the world. But there was the pressure and the toxicity that's in it. It wasn't very pleasant. And like I said, we weren't family members, we weren't friends. It was more like a business. But the ego is getting in the way, like I said. I'd have to have some some precaution.
Big money.
You'd have to isolate. Well, some of them have, I totally would absolutely, but.
But I know you're still performing, but are the other band members still performing?
Yeah, they are. They're actually quite successful still in France and still going. Oh. But for me now, I'm on a different level, musically and. And I've got to the point when I'm respected, like people like yourselves and people, especially within New York, my peers, to go back to do dance routines that are kind of old-fashioned and sing the old hits. It will kind of like degrade my platform that I've created here. My dream was always to be an American artist and be successful here. We were mainly successful in Europe. Yeah. And then for me to come here as a solo, as a nobody knew me here. So I've had to graft my way onto the scene, with fashion. And also I'm a type of artist that you can't really put me in a box. I'm everybody. I would do from kung fu fighting to rock to, ballads and, I'm everything.
And was your vision while you're performing there, you already had your one eye on America already?
America
so that's already
it was always the dream for America.
Right.
Always. Because everyone looks to America, especially for film and
entertainment. Same reason why I came as well.
Exactly. And I came here, nobody knew me. I literally had to start from scratch. Because, after, when I decided to leave, a lot of people, the business, isn't it? So it's a very cutthroat business. Oh, okay, And, and coming from a big successful group, and then you leave, you're kind of on your own. And people refer to you to your last project.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And, at that time, boy bands, if you're in a boy band, you weren't taken very seriously. I've always been a performer. I've always wrote my songs. I've always been a singer. I've sung in nightclubs, small, big. I'm a performer, and I this is what I do. But when you're in a boy band, people don't recognise you for your real talents. like that.
Yeah.
So it was a hard pill to digest at that time because basically labels and record company executives said you're a joke and there's no hope for you because you were in this boy band.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
so you can imagine hearing that after you've done all that work.
Yeah.
And you have a name, but now they're like, well, no one wants to touch you. You know what I'm saying? You have to prove yourself. I mean, and we just don't have the time or the investment to do that. You know, we want to the next.
Well, you expanded your horizon.
I did.
You're more now in New York. You're not just a singer.
No,
you're not just a
performer. No, yeah.
You're a fashion. I just see you. You see this. I mean, this guy. That's why I said normally those people that watch me on my broadcast, you know, I dress like a tramp. I dress in t-shirt, whatever. But I knew I was going to be in front and next to an absolute fashion guru like that. You know, I better doll myself up a little bit as well. But have you always been this?
My parents always dressed very nicely.
All right.
I'm a very creative person. I always have been. I have a way of putting things together.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm the best, and I don't. It's kind of effortless. It's just, I just do it, and I will buy clothes and find pieces everywhere. From
What were your family performers? Because you said
on my father's side, and my father's Jamaican, was born in Jamaica, and their reggae music is very prominent there, and that's in England, as you know. You know, so I grew up around a lot of reggae music, and a lot of my father's family sung reggae.
Oh.
There was always music in my house playing, and all different types as well. My mother worked for the Royal Academy of Dancing, which is the British ballet company.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so at a very young age, I was exposed to dance and the arts, theatre arts. Rudo Norev came to the house, and Margot Fontaine. I mean, so at a young kid, I was in the presence of these of greatness, and my dream was to be, I want to be them.
Yeah,
and they're larger than life characters, and that's where you see how I come with all this. It's because of what I was exposed to and look up to.
So, can you remember your earliest days that you could perform, that you wanted? It was like,
yes, I do. Yeah. Or first of all, I saw Michael Jackson. That was the trigger. I watched Michael Jackson's Free, and I said, I want to do that. Yeah. And then I put a little band together, like my cousin and a couple of school friends. We were like 10, 11. But I couldn't sing. But a girl who I went to school with could. An amazing, gifted girl at that age. And then we rehearsed and everything, and then we did a photo shoot, and I remember she didn't like the way she looked in the photographs, so she tore them up. Well, I went ballistic. You've ruined our pictures, So I threw her out the group. So you're not in the group no more. And the rest of them said, well, we have this show to do in 3 days, who's going to sing? And I said, I'll do it. But you can't, they said, you can't sing. Watch me, I said. Yeah. And I went out there 3 days later and got the bug, and I did it, pulled it off. So
you had no formal training as such?
At that time I didn't, because, I think I was very young at 10. Yeah. So, but I wanted to do that. I danced a lot at school and expressed more in the dancing world, but I never knew that I could sing. And I trained myself. I practiced along to all different records at the time, in my bedroom, locked up all day, rehearsing and getting my voice up to. And then my parents put me in performing arts school. So they saw, this kid obviously has something. This is what he wants to do. So let's put him in a facility where that will, nurture his gifts and his talent. And then I went to performing arts school, and then I was also literally performing all over England, winning competitions, talent shows, nightclubs, barns, wherever there was a stage, I was, wanted to be on it. Yeah. And, and then to get signed by a major record company at 18 years old with Simon Cowell, and we started the whole American Idol concept, the whole audition process, because when they put us together, they realised this is a money maker, and we could put this on TV. The process of auditioning and that's how American Idol. So you
came before the talent show. You were an inspiration.
Yeah, our project was the guinea pig project. Yeah. And Simon, realised.
Oh, well, also he's renowned for that worldwide for that.
And you know what? And he dutifully so. I mean, he's a genius.
Yeah. Oh, he is. Yeah.
He knows pop music. He knows marketing. Yeah. I had a wonderful relationship. He was my best teacher. And even when I wasn't on the road or performing, I would sit in his office and just watch and learn. And he would encourage me. And even sometimes he would come to the studio because I was the only member in the studio because I was doing the lead vocals. So sometimes he would drive me there and drive me home, and we got very close. And he would encourage me and he would say, "Watch and learn. Watch, this is the way things are done. This is how a record should sound. This is what your voice should be doing," and respected me.
Yeah. So is he as tough as he appears, or is he really a softie?
No, do you know what? Yeah. He is as tough as you see.
Oh, okay.
He's a no bullshitter kind of guy because he wants it right and he knows what he's doing. I never felt the wrath of him.
Okay. Well, you obviously had the talent. That's probably
why. I think there was a mutual respect.
Yeah.
He saw how hard I'd worked. He also saw where I came from. I wasn't just a kid just plucked off the street. I trained.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to learn.
Yeah.
I learned how to read contracts.
Oh.
I asked questions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm involved.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm the singer, and the other guys were more about the party life and being famous.
Yeah.
And that's all good, and that's good, but you have to know your skills and learn your craft, learn the business, And all what I learned from him, I apply to myself today. And that's what's made me successful here in the United States, because he taught me all the tricks and how to deal and, how to present yourself, how to read contracts, how to negotiate, how to, everything. How to make a perfect record, mixes, what instruments, what to bring up and down. And all that I apply to what I do now.
Yeah.
And that's what's opened the door for me. And the fashion obviously took hold of me.
Yeah.
Then the hip hop market took over me, and everybody. And you took
over. Well, those that know our history know that 2017 when we did our Bruce Lee commemorative event at the Memorial Hall building in
Wall Street,
and we were blessed to have this talent saying kung fu fighting for us.
Yeah, you asked me to do a research.
Absolutely, it's like but it comes full circle, because the reason why we're reconnected, those that have been watching the technology side, the entertainment side, have probably heard of the non-fungible token, the NFT, which the market has stated is going to be the next $1 trillion technology industry. So I make no shameless plug about it, because that is actually a platform that me and my technology partners are actually involved in it. So we've taken out various IP, copyright, trademark, and also a patent on our technology, which we are launching soon, our NFTI Mart. So here's our NFTI Mart, and we are blessed to launch our platform with true legendary pop star. One of our founders of NFT Mar has a copyrighted content with Pink Floyd. So I'm sure no one there needs me to tell me who Pink Floyd are. But along with Pink Floyd, we have also a great pop legend. So we're out there to launch quality, not about quantity, but about quality. So it's obviously a great honor for me to have Aaron obviously originally showcase our Bruce Lee event, and now showcase our NFT
works, right?
Exactly, the universe. In fact, I'm just telling Aaron after this conversation, actually, I have a 3:30 in about 2.5 hours with a sponsor out in California that wants to sponsor our next Bruce Lee extravaganza event. So it literally is like,
the universe.
The universe
brings everything back around for a reason.
We're not seeing each other for like 4 years. Bruce Lee. And then he's just like literally on his train here, and I got a call from one of our partners saying, listen, there's a party that's very, very interested in sponsoring your next Bruce Lee event. And I'm saying, this is absolutely perfect, because I'm interviewing Aaron, and actually the release of his NFT is going to be Kung Fu Fighting. So watch out.
Well, I'm very happy that that song's going to get its day, because obviously it was for you guys. But now we're going to put it out there on a major platform, and this new way of promoting art.
Art. And it's not NFT. It's not just for singers.
No,
as you know, it's for artists. Those that follow the NFT know that one of the art pieces by Beatles was auctioned at Christie's for $69 million. Even in sports, the NBA raised $366 million on 5 of the collectible merchandise in less than 30 days. So it is a real huge.
Well, do you know what?
entity.
I've decided I'm going to be the king of NFT.
Then,
I'm gonna
we
be-
have the
I'm
king
gonna-
of the
I'm gonna-
NFT.
You know,
Yeah.
everyone has their
Yeah.
king of,
Yeah.
of the era at the time,
Yeah.
and this is a whole new thing, and I aim to dominate this. You heard it here
You hear
first.
it here, guys. You hear it here, all right? And we are blessed. We are NFT Mark, who's going to launch this gentleman on our platform along with Pink Floyd. We have
Incredible.
signed up the king. All right? Okay?
You heard it here first.
You heard it here. So, on that note, that is a perfect way to end it. So, thank you, Aaron, my
Thank you,
dear
my
friend.
Pleasure.
Here, the handshake. So, watch out for the relaunching of the mega pop star once again. That
Thank
is
you.
Aaron Paul. God bless you all.
Thank you.